This is the devil's country. He's even emptied his bag of marbles around the place. That was a quote from an explorer that was surveying the area that we now call the Devil's Marbles. But are these strange rock formations really the marbles from the Devil's Bag? Or is there a more reasonable, science-based explanation for the Devil's Marbles? I would go for the science-based explanation. Hello and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Maria and I'm a scientist turned sci-fi fantasy writer. I like to use my science background to explore and understand the many wonders of our planet. Today, we will use science to explore the Devil's Marbles in Australia. We will learn what the Devil's Marbles are, what they are made of, and we will also learn what is their cultural significance. First, let's see what are the Devil's Marbles. The Devil's Marbles refers to an area in the Northern Territory in Australia that is sprinkled with large reddish boulders. The Aboriginals call it Karlu Karlu and it is part of a conservation reserve. What makes this site special is the presence of hundreds of huge rounded boulders stretching over an area of 18 square kilometers. That's around 7 square miles. Many of them are as high as 11 or 12 meters. But that's not the only thing that's special about this site. What makes this site unique is the way in which these boulders are positioned. The way they are balanced one on top of the other seems to be defying gravity. When looking at such an intriguing site, we have to wonder what makes it possible for the boulders to be positioned into such strange structures. Did someone place them there? Or are there some more natural causes for their shapes and positioning? Let's find out the answers to these questions by using some basic science and some details about our planet's history. So how were the Devil's Marbles formed? Like every other geological wonder, the Devil's Marbles has a very long history. Its history goes back in time even further than the one of the Eye of the Sahara, which we discussed in the previous video. If you want to learn more about the Eye of the Sahara, I will link it in the top right corner and in the video description so you can check it out. The inception of the Devil's Marbles dates back to about 1.6 billion years ago. Around that time, the magma in the Earth's crust in that region solidified, forming the igneous rock that makes up these large boulders. More specifically, it's a coarse-grained igneous rock called granite. The main minerals present in the composition of granite rocks are quartz and feldspar, both of these being silicate minerals. Quartz contains in its structure oxygen and silicon, the two most abundant elements in the Earth's crust. Feldspar is also a silicate mineral, but besides oxygen and silicon, it also contains other chemical elements such as aluminium, sodium, potassium, and others, forming more complex structures. Depending on the proportion of these main minerals and some other present minerals, granite rocks can have different colors. The pink to red color in granite rocks comes from the higher abundance of potassium feldspar in the granite rock composition. Deeper red hues of granite could also come from the presence of iron oxide in hematite grains present in the rocks. If you want to admire the Devil's Marbles under the finest display of pink and red hues, the best time to visit the site is during sunrise and sunset when the reddish color is especially intense. Now that we know what the Devil's Marbles are made of, let's find out what is the cause for the Devil's Marbles shapes. As I mentioned earlier, the Devil's Marbles history started when the magma in the Earth's crust solidified, forming the granite rocks in that region. These rocks were formed beneath a layer of sandstone, which was applying extensive pressures to the granite rock. However, in time, over many millions of years, the weathering conditions in the area caused the gradual erosion of the sandstone layer. With the sandstone layer gone, all the pressure it was applying to the granite mass was also gone, leaving behind granite layers with varying degrees of cracks in them. The horizontal and vertical cracks that formed over long periods of time and under the effect of different weathering agents started shaping the granite block into rectangular structures. The weathering process continued over millions and millions of years. Since granite is a much harder rock than sandstone, its weathering is a much slower process than that of sandstone. So while the weathering agents led to the full erosion of the sandstone layer, their effect on the granite blocks were much smaller, yet still quite noticeable. It was the action of water, wind, and extreme temperature changes in the region that carved the rectangle granite blocks into the round-shaped boulders we call the Devil's Marbles. But why are they called the Devil's Marbles? To find out the meaning behind the name Devil's Marbles, we have to switch from a scientific point of view to a cultural one. We need to understand the cultural heritage aspect of the site. If you've been following this channel for a while, then you know how much I care about cultural heritage. And if you want to learn more about what cultural heritage is and how we can use science to protect it, then check out this video that I made a while back. And if you're enjoying this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more stories about the wonders of our planet. Now let's get back to the Devil's Marbles. The name Devil's Marbles dates back to the year 1870, when an explorer that was surveying the area said, "This is the Devil's country. He's even emptied his bag of marbles around the place." So that is where the name Devil's Marbles comes from. But in the Aboriginal culture, the site is named Karlu Karlu, which translated means rounded boulders. The Karlu Karlu Conservation Reserve is a registered sacred site, and it is of high cultural significance for the local Alyawarre people, as well as for other Aboriginal groups. In the traditional culture, the Devil's Marbles were created by an ancient ancestor of the local people named Aranga, or the Devil Man. The legend says that one time when Aranga was walking through the area, he made a hair belt. This is something that is only worn by initiated Aboriginal men. As he was creating this hair string belt, some hair clusters dropped on the ground. These large chunks of his hair then transformed into the big red boulders we now call the Devil's Marbles. Before returning to his home in a hill east of the reserve, he also spat on the ground, his spit forming the boulders at the center of the reserve. The legend says that Aranga still resides in those hills. So if you're ever in the area, take the time to admire the hard work that both nature and Aranga put into shaping the Devil's Marbles. Before you go, let me know in the comments below this video if you've ever been to the Devil's Marbles and how was it? If you haven't been, would you like to go? I would love to visit the site, not just because of its interesting geological history, but also because of its cultural heritage significance. If you enjoyed this video, then you might also enjoy this other video that I created about another geological marvel of our planet. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!